Welcome to another edition of Rogues Gallery, where we list a superhero's top 10 enemies based on your votes. However, this week we're doing something a little different, and instead we're ranking the top 10 members of the Suicide Squad. Officially named Task Force X, the Suicide Squad is a government team where supervillains can commute their sentences by undertaking high-risk, covert missions. Just missing out on the top 10 this week are Killer Frost, Nightshade, and Count Vertigo. Let's start the countdown. Number 10, the Enchantress, June Moon. June first joined the Suicide Squad seeking a way to control the evil Enchantress persona, which would possess her and force her to commit terrible acts. She later discovered that the Enchantress was a separate evil entity from an alternate dimension, which was later ripped from her by the demon Incubus. Number 9, Colonel Rick Flag Jr. The field leader of the Suicide Squad, Rick Flag's father served on the original incarnation of the squad in World War II, and Jr. attempted to form his own team, but they were extremely short-lived. Drafted to head up the government's Task Force X, Flag resented working with villains, and the responsibility of the role weighed heavy on his mind and mental health. He remained fiercely loyal to his team, however, and sacrificed himself to bring down the terrorist group known as the Jihad. Number 8, Non-Elway, better known as King Shark. While it was originally thought that King Shark might be a meta-human or a possible precursor to the animal men of Kamandi's time, he is actually the son of Chandraka, the Hawaiian god of all sharks. A relatively new member of the Suicide Squad, he has a taste for human flesh that he has no qualms indulging. Number 7, Oracle, Barbara Gordon. After her traumatic paralysis at the hands of the Joker, the former Batgirl reinvented herself as the tech-savvy hacker Oracle, and first began communicating with the Suicide Squad via cryptic messages on a computer screen. She was later invited to be a full member of the team, under an assumed name, and even led the team for a brief period of time. Number 6, Deathstroke, Slade Wilson. One of the newest members to join the team, Deathstroke joined the all-new Suicide Squad at the insistence of the government bureaucrat Victor Sage, and as opposed to most team members, he was there on his own free will, and routinely clashed with Deadshot over the redundancy of them both being on the team. Number 5, Benjamin Turner, the Bronze Tiger. Before he became the Bronze Tiger, Turner was a hero and ally of the martial arts master Richard Dragon. He was brainwashed into becoming an assassin by the League of Assassins and rescued by Rick Flag and Nightshade. Deprogrammed and partially amnesiac, Bronze Tiger elected to join the Suicide Squad to recover his memories, but made a solemn vow against killing. Number 4, Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn was drafted into the Suicide Squad after murdering a host of lawyers responsible for the Joker's incarceration. Though often a rogue and unpredictable element of the team, she has become one of the core and definitive members in recent years. Number 3, Captain Boomerang, George Digger Harkness. Captain Boomerang is classically a villain for the Flash, but he enlisted into the Suicide Squad with the promise of a pardon and an early parole for his crimes. However, after numerous missions with the group, he is allowed a small amount of freedom and granted a residence off-site, provided he stay within the law. Unable to resist the call of crime, Harkness dressed up like his deceased friend Mirror Master in order to sate his appetite. His presence on the Suicide Squad was more often than not a disruptive one, and he was often outwardly racist and misogynistic to his fellow teammates. His Mirror Master scam was eventually discovered, and his privileges were revoked by Waller, forcing him back to Belle Reve. He would serve with the Suicide Squad until it was disbanded, and was later killed by Robin's father, Jack Drake, whom he was sent to assassinate. Number 2, Amanda Waller. Amanda Waller lived a normal and happy life in Chicago until tragedy struck her family. After her son was killed and her daughter was attacked, her husband went out seeking retribution and was shot dead. This drove Amanda to get her education in political science and eventually rise the ranks in government to the point where she could resurrect Task Force X. After the team's initial success, Amanda Waller was given the authority to operate out of the Louisiana-based prison for supercriminals, Belle Reve. Her time leading a team of superpowered criminals, plus the stress of the secrecy, put a lot of pressure on Waller, and she later incarcerated herself over the squad's illegal activities. Waller was reinvented to some controversy as part of DC's New 52 initiative. Here she was reimagined as younger and more conventionally attractive, with a more militaristic background having served with Team 7. She was also responsible for assembling Argus's Justice League of America, with each team member selected for their ability to go one-on-one with a member of the Justice League. Number 1, Deadshot, Floyd Lawton. Floyd Lawton was originally a wealthy aristocrat who replaced Batman for a time until the Caped Crusader discovered Deadshot's alliance with several members of the criminal underworld. After serving time in jail, Lawton returned with a new attitude and a new costume. Obsessed with killing Batman, he tried on multiple occasions but always came up short. He was offered a pardon for joining the Suicide Squad and elected to stay with the team following their first mission, and it was speculated by the team's doctors that he had a death wish. When his son Edward went missing, he took a leave of absence from the team to try and rescue him, but not only was he too late, he discovered the entire plot was created by his own mother, angry at him for not killing her abusive husband, Floyd's father. After serving with the Suicide Squad on and off for many years, Deadshot later joined the Secret Six, a similar team of supervillains working together begrudgingly. There he struck up an uneasy friendship/rivalry with Catman, and later returned to the Suicide Squad to round up rogue supercriminals and ship them off-world. His origin in the New 52 is significantly different in many ways, as he was born poor and watched his family die in a hail of gunfire coming from the neighboring apartment. Fascinated with the device that took his family from him, Lawton studied guns inside and out, becoming a master assassin, and was later forced to join the Suicide Squad. That's our list this week. Make sure to check out ComicsAlliance.com for your chance to vote in upcoming polls.